everyone to another episode of Football Armchair Experts, where we pretend to know everything, but actually we know nothing. Of course, this week is the last week of the Premier League, 2 match weeks this week. So we'll be having one episode in midweek as well as one episode coming up later in the week as well. So that's dedication from us for you viewers and listeners. Of course, the fans will also be returning into stadiums these last 2 match weeks. Manchester City, of course, were already crowned Premier League champions, and the relegation places were already decided. So this episode will have a major focus on the top 4 race, as well as the reaction to the FA Cup final last weekend. Here to give us their reactions, Liverpool fan Imran, Chelsea fan Robin, Newcastle fan Manjun, and I myself, Mark, I'm a Fulham fan. So, of course, without further ado, let's start with the Matchweek 37 preview. Leicester City have won their first ever FA Cup. It was, of course, their first final since 1969. Yuri Tillemans scoring a screamer from outside the box to steal the win for Leicester. I'm sure that Robin watched the game, so let's get his first reaction to Chelsea's loss. It's now back-to-back FA Cup final losses.
Yeah, both are equally disappointing. But I can't say that either team deserved to win outright. So, but I don't hate Leicester for winning it. After seeing their celebrations, I feel okay lah. I'm very touched. Yeah, I was quite emotional for them. I feel very happy for them. But it's because Chelsea didn't really turn up on the day until maybe the last 20 minutes. But by then it was too late. And then Kasper Schmeichel was really world-class on the day. On any other day, we could have probably snatched the win with Mason Mount's effort and then the VAR offside goal. I was cheering like mad, Then when the VAR came out, get it out of our game, man. I hate VAR.
Just based on this one game.
No, I mean in general, I rather have the human error controversy around if VAR is gonna be like that lah. Plus VAR is not always 100% correct, so it's very frustrating. Even for Tielemans' goal, the lead up to it, there was a argument of handball in I think Ayoze Perez interception. Yeah, but that was very strange ruling because they said it wasn't immediately leading up to the goal. But how much more immediate can it be, right? It's just one pass away after that handball deflection. So dubious to me, very dubious. But Chelsea just didn't perform well for too much of the game. And then we paid the price with one sensational strike from nowhere. When I saw it, I was like, oh no. He looked like he struck it too well. It's almost like Steven Gerrard's one against West Ham. That kind of feeling. The moment he left the boot, you kind of know it's going to be a good
top
goal.
Corner, I think.
A little sad, very disappointed, but I don't know if I can blame Tuchel for it or it's just the team's mentality's flaw. I think that there's a lot of talk about the Chelsea mentality these days since the Arsenal defeat again. Them being distracted, them not being up for it or focused enough to come up with a consistently good performance. It's quite weird because it's a cup final. You shouldn't need extra motivation as a professional to be up for a final. Plus, I mean, the fans were back for that game, but it felt like only Leicester fans were back. When they showed the Chelsea side, it was really, really quiet. So that was quite concerning also.
I will say, but this kind of thing is very hard to judge in the finals. Right? I think in general, final games, like games in finals tend to be a bit scrappier, a bit less fluid, right? It's like both sides will be, I guess, like nervous and like tense and what, right? So a lot of times you don't really play your full potential. It's just that usually the better side will win, right? But if you are generally an even side, I think it's just going to be scrappy and like who gets the, in this case, I don't know, world-class / lucky goal, then you just win the game. I think it's the same for Champions League finals also. It's like you don't really see good Champions League finals in general, right? Because both sides are always so nervous and all that.
Yeah, it usually comes down to like one moment of brilliance, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if you ask Chelsea fans before this run of fixtures, right, which one they would rather get, Champions League, top 4 and FA Cup final. In a sense, I think there was a little bit
Champions
of the,
League
of course, FA Cup was
clearly
the least priority and maybe perhaps the players felt that also like, I don't know, it felt like they didn't really want to go for this FA Cup final. And then they realized, actually, after they went behind against Leicester, like, okay, actually, this psychological effect of a loss would also be a damaging issue. So they end up going for it in the last 20-30 minutes. But yeah, I mean, overall, I don't know about Manjun. I I didn't watch the game. I went to go and because I was quite maybe dismissive of Leicester's chances because they weren't exactly playing very well the last few games. So I actually expected Chelsea to win, but I did go and watch like the celebrations and all that. Like it's nice to see. I think not really doing Leicester a disservice by saying they're not exactly a big team, managing to win their first ever FA Cup final. Jamie Vardy, probably this will be like his last chance to get silverware and all that. It's a nice feeling to see all these players or, perhaps getting a last chance of, crowning this era of their club's history, because like Wes Morgan also, probably this will be his last season also. I don't know, Manjun, I don't know if you watched the game or you watched the celebrations.
Actually, I didn't even know the game was on, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know. Okay. Don't know, but I did catch the celebration. A bit envious. Like Mike Ashley would never. Roman Abramovich would never. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's nice
they'll
to
just
see
like be, they'll be the big, like they have the big boss mentality and just stay up at the stands and start clapping their hands. Good job, and that's all they'll do.
I mean, I think Roman quite passionate on it.
No, I mean, now he cannot go into the UK, so that's his reason for not appearing at games. But before that, sometimes he would appear at games also, ma.
I think with his like family, someone with his son, then like they will celebrate. I think it was like the Champions League final, right? They were also celebrating the goal and everything, like any other fan.
Yeah, but I don't think that the players would want him to come down.
Yeah, he's much more muted than the Thai guy.
Oh, okay, less of a close bond to the owners.
Yeah, I heard like the Chelsea Women's Champions League final, Roman Abramovich was in their dressing room.
He went to watch, yeah.
Horny fuck, man.
Got smashed 4-0 though, oh my god.
Okay, so who says we don't cover women's football as well? But I guess in terms of this psychological effect, after this, Chelsea will be facing the exact same opponents. Now will be, I guess, sort of a playoff for a top 4 spot in a sense. Do you think that will play into Chelsea players' minds at all? Like, even if it's a positive connotation, maybe they want revenge.
Yeah, I think it has to. Now's the only time to build momentum. We have to win remaining 2 fixtures left in the league. Plus, to secure top 4, I think it's super important. Tuchel's job technically rests on these EPL fixtures, right? I think the clause in his contract was to get top 4, then we talk again.
He won't get fired, so.
Yeah, I mean, he won't get. Okay, we don't
know
about that.
Even though I think ESPN, one of the videos is like, well, Tuchel on the line or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, just last week we were talking about, if Chelsea could manage to pull off, like maybe we were counting Chelsea's chickens before they were hatched a little bit, but possibly Tuchel was looking, like a genius, like possibly manager of the season material. And then now just after 1 week, that 1-0 loss to Arsenal in midweek, suddenly potentially he could lose his job. That's a big change.
No, I won't say get sacked straight away, but he'll need to prove himself again, and see how he rebuilds the spine of the team, maybe. If we're talking about mentality-wise, a little too many nice guys in the squad these days. I think most of the strong characters are in the defense. Maybe Rudiger, Aspi, Thiago Silva, that's pretty much it. Jorginho seems okay, but he doesn't have the legs. Everyone knows it. So Kante is a good performer, but he's not exactly a charismatic. His personality to drag the team across the line when it matters most. Like Chelsea fans will always look back to the Drogba days, Terry Lampard. Check. With good reason, teams built around this spine will win you games and championships, tournaments like that. So that's something we lack, especially striker. I mean, we played Werner again. To Leicester's credit, I think their defensive structure was correct to counter Werner. They didn't really play very high, so Werner couldn't do much. And Werner's really off form. When he got the chances, he was pretty bad. Then as a result of that, Ziyech also couldn't really make his good passes. So Ziyech was quite out of the game. So Leicester defended really well. In the league though, I think Chelsea have to channel this revenge energy into a good win against Leicester. We need to rebuild their confidence.
Okay, I guess before we go through, Chelsea's midweek results and Leicester's midweek results also, I guess maybe it's a good time to talk about the different connotations before we get into the actual looking at the games and the preview. Of course, Leicester and Chelsea will be facing each other this coming midweek. Leicester on 66 points, Chelsea on 64, Liverpool on 63. If Liverpool win both their games, they will go on 69 points. And regardless of result for Leicester and Chelsea's results, Liverpool will still be in the top 4.
I think the only way we will be out is by goal difference. But that's if it's a very big. I mean, it's like a very improbable situation lah. So things are quite in Liverpool's. Yeah, it's in Liverpool's control now, thanks to Alisson's last second header.
We'll talk about that later because we want to do Leicester and Chelsea first. Yes, but I know you're very excited to talk about that lah. Yeah. I guess Leicester. In a sense, this is a must not lose game, whereas for Chelsea, it's a must win game. Yeah. Leicester, if it's a draw, Leicester can possibly get 70. That might be enough for Champions League already.
Yeah. Because the max Liverpool can get is 69. The max Chelsea can get is 7. And the max Chelsea can get is 71, right? But the thing about 70, Liverpool is the thing that's going for Liverpool is that Leicester must play Chelsea, so the 3 points can go to one of the parties.
Someone.
Yeah. Can't go to both of them.
Good time to have the fans back because this is at Stamford Bridge.
I don't know, man. Chelsea fans aren't exactly the best at being the 12th man, right? We just somehow are quite passive. Like FA Cup final, then the team were not very encouraging at all. Hopefully the fans do help give them a burst of energy, especially this late in the season. But it seems that Chelsea played better without fans. As the underdog, no fans. Yeah.
So maybe next season you can just don't sell any tickets.
Yeah. Don't watch.
I think this game is sort of like a 50-50, right? It can go either ways. Before the FA Cup final, you will say that Chelsea has the edge, but after the FA Cup final, I think it's quite 50-50.
Ask Imran, who would you prefer, or what kind of result would you prefer to get from this game?
That's the thing. I haven't thought about that. That's why I say from my perspective, it's like you don't really care about the result. It's like any result will favor Liverpool. But I'm thinking now, if both draw, right, and they draw like the next 2 games, or like you draw and you lose or what, then it's damn good for Liverpool.
No, don't be greedy. You should want Chelsea to lose, right?
Correct. That is the easier connotation. If Chelsea lose, then it doesn't matter already.
Yeah. Then you immediately fourth.
Yeah.
If Chelsea
provided
lose,
you don't lose.
no, provided we don't lose.
Correct. Of course, that one you have to live up to your own end of the bargain also.
Assuming Liverpool wins, right? You are already fourth. Then
if Chelsea lose this game and then Liverpool draw the game, we will be level on points but lower on goal difference. And then everything will be down to the last day.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, which is also very exciting.
I mean, then it really depends on, are you looking for maximum excitement or are you looking for the safest result that can get Liverpool there?
The safest result. But see, that's the thing also. But you don't know which one is the safest result, right? Because the last game will be Leicester versus Spurs, which is a harder game than Chelsea versus...
Correct, that's true.
So maybe some people prefer Leicester to lose, right? Because you know that they have a high chance of screwing up the next game also, so they will drop out of the top 4. So,
that's possible.
It's like you cannot bank on Chelsea losing to Aston Villa, but you can definitely bank on Leicester losing to Spurs or minimally getting a draw.
Chelsea did lose to Arsenal in midweek. I think you watched that also.
That was.
Yes.
It's the first time, of course, Arsenal have done the double over Chelsea since the 2003-2004 season. Also the first Arsenal win at Stamford Bridge since 2011. It's been 10 years ago. I actually remember that scoreline at Robin Van Persie hat-trick.
Yeah, oh my God, yes.
Why do you even remember that?
I don't remember why I remember that. But yeah.
I only know hat-trick.
I remember because it was a surprising scoreline. I think Arsenal scored 5 that day.
I don't know, it was a terrible day. That's all I know.
That must have been a surprising result.
Yes, very. Like I was so confident Arsenal were not going to get any goal at all. It come out, what a toothless Chelsea again. And Arsenal just got a smash and grab pretty much. But I don't know what to make of it. It's worrying that Chelsea could now, from a very strong position, end up becoming like bottle jobs.
Nothing this season.
Yeah, it could become nothing. So it's a bit dangerous, a bit scary.
We can go into the prediction time. Can start with the Chelsea fan, of course. I'm sure going for a Chelsea win.
I have to. I really have to use my heart for this. I'll go for a 1-0 Chelsea win.
Liverpool fan, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be... Okay. I don't think maybe Chelsea may go for it. I'm not too sure, but I know that Leicester definitely won't go for it. They'll be happy with a draw. So... And Chelsea also don't really score a lot of goals. So I think 1-1 is a fair score.
I don't believe Leicester won't go for it. Like, I feel if they sit back, they are screwed. Oh, no, from my own memory, whenever Leicester they try to sit back and counter attack, it doesn't end well. Like, somehow their defense isn't as strong as what we think it is.
Okay.
Damn prone. So if they cannot bombarded like multiple times a game, right, high chance they will make some mistake. But I agree with England with the score. I think I go for 1-1.
You know, I'm going to choose to say that perhaps the FA Cup win might already give the Leicester players a bit of comfort, and perhaps the fans returning might make a difference. So I'm going to go Chelsea win 2-1.
Yes. Too much champagne for Leicester.
We've kept Imran control with his reaction to Alisson's goal long enough. This is the other game that will impact the top four. Liverpool will be facing Burnley. Liverpool's last-minute goal deep in injury time reaction.
I think one of disbelief. I think at the end, most of us have resigned. Well, like most of the fans were already resigned to it's going to be a draw, which, I mean, all but mathematically sort of counts us out of the race.
Okay, maybe ask Manjun. Can you say that perhaps West Brom could have done more to prevent Alisson from scoring?
I mean, of course, but I don't think like this type of thing, you can't really comment much because, or at the same time you can't really blame the defense much because perhaps if like end of the day if it's the last kick of the game, the last play of the game, you happen to push everyone up, then I would say Liverpool, they are deserving of the win, like they managed to score, because the chances of them scoring is higher in the end, you know what I mean? So and then you can't really blame West Brom for it. Or maybe they just didn't prep having a goalkeeper up there in the final kill of the game.
Most of the time when the keeper's inside, right, it's not really to score, it's to draw the defenders away from the other players, right? Because you expect the other players to be more efficient in like scoring the goal than the keeper. So it's like if you waste one person, go and mark the keeper, then you let someone else score, then what's the point? It's a diversion only. And that was what Alisson was going for. He said like he went up, he was hoping to draw like the defenders away. Then he ran, no one following him. Yeah, and obviously the keepers don't train their headers, right? So you expect even if the keeper reach the freaking ball, right, he won't direct it in such a way that like number one is probably gonna be off target. Even if it's on target, it should be an easy save. Like nobody would expect the keeper to direct the ball to like the other side of the goal, like near the corner there. And it's like, oh, like some very professionally taken header.
Alisson is the sixth goalkeeper to score in the Premier League. This is probably the most consequential of the six. And probably the nicest of the six as well. I mean, I don't know if you remember any of the other goalkeepers.
I think Paul Robinson's goal quite nice as well.
Oh, his was a free kick. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were saying how this is like the only headed goal.
Maybe taking the emotion out of the the last minute goal, Alisson scoring, the bewilderment of the whole situation. Was it a good performance by Liverpool though? That would make you confident that you can close out with wins against Burnley and Palace?
No lah. If you need a last minute goal by your keeper to win the game, how is that convincing against a side that's already relegated? Although I must say that Liverpool didn't play badly, but as usual, it's like they have been wasteful in front of the goal, and it's the same in this case lah. Like hitting the bar, and like they have so many shots on target, right, where it's like relatively open one, and then they just hit it like not even on target. Like Trent did it a few times. Like he would actually carry the ball forward himself quite well, cut through the defense, and then do like all these feints and all that. And then he's open, right? Then he will shoot with his weak foot, and then it will just fly over. It happened like twice.
Will you be confident with Liverpool against Burnley? This is probably, if you were to compare Burnley and Palace, probably the harder game of the two.
To most people, Burnley is like always a hard place to go, even though technically they are below Crystal Palace in the standings, right? But every time people mention Burnley, they're like, oh yeah, you'll be prepared for a very tough physical game. It's a bit safer on Liverpool's side, right? Because if they're not looking to really counter you a lot, they just like want to defend, then it's very easy for you to take control of the game, and then it's in your hands whether you can score or not, like to cut through them and all that, right? I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I have no choice but to have faith, because if this one is really in your hands, if you don't get into the top four, you cannot blame anyone else really.
Possible sign that things are lining up Liverpool's way. You'll be surprised that Burnley, even though you said Burnley is a tough place to go, can't be that tough. They're now winless at home in 9 games. Nick Pope has also gotten an injury, so Manjun's favourite goalkeeper, Bailey Peacock Farrell, will be probably starting.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news. I think that increases our chance quite a lot, right? Because Nick Pope is really quite a good keeper, and I would think kept Burnley in a lot of the game.
And of course, Jurgen Klopp now, other than his first time win at Old Trafford, it was also his first time beating Big Sam. So it's taken an Alisson goal to finally end that record. Yeah, we can start off the predictions. We can start with the Liverpool fan now.
Even though goal difference is sort of important now, but I think it will be 2-1. And I think Mane is definitely not in good form. And then Jota's out for the rest of the season.
Rest of the season, yeah. I was quite surprised with that also.
Yeah, I actually thought that in the West Brom game, right, Mane was the problem. Like he couldn't link up with any of the other players like very well. A bit, I guess, trying too hard. Like he has his moments, but like it feels like he's like a bit out of it, because like he was saying how this is like his worst season and it's like something's wrong, and then it's like his confidence is probably at an all-time low now. And with this case, it's like the moment it happens to you and you try too hard, right, it's just gonna be downhill from there.
Talking about clubs with players trying too hard, I guess we can go to a Chelsea fan, Robin.
I knew it.
That transition.
Damn it. Okay, as much as I hate it, I think Liverpool will win 2-0.
I mean, bless my man, Bailey Peacock Farrell. I think he started 4 games for Burnley and he has conceded 14 fucking goals. So I don't know whether it's Burnley's defense. I mean, they are supposed to be good, right? Their defense.
Well,
but apparently not so. Like this season, like James Tarkowski and Ben Mee, I don't think they've been very good actually. Like I remember they were touted to be like, oh, these 2 pairing can be the best in England, you know what I mean? Because they do so well for their club. Then they can do the same for the club for the country. Actually, I don't think Burnley will put a fight in this game, to be honest. I think they just sit back. Yeah, I don't even think Robin's favourite, Chris Wood, will ever do anything also. Okay, I'm going to go for a 3-0 lah. 3-0 Liverpool.
Burnley have been I think probably the most unpredictable team in the Premier League this season.
Yeah. Okay, win, lose.
Yeah. So I go for a very surprising... No, I don't think so. I mean, if Liverpool lose this game, right, wow.
You can carry on the pattern. Their trend, lose, win, lose, win, lose.
But I think the way in which they got their winner against West Brom, surely this must give them confidence, like, this is meant to be, that kind of thing.
It could also give Burnley confidence.
Really? Why will it give Burnley confidence?
That if West Brom can hold out and almost get a 1-1, why not we?
I guess maybe I somehow don't see it. I think
until you see Alisson come running up in the last second again.
2 goals in 2 matches. Then we're talking about informed strikers. Might as well just play him up front already. Okay, I'm going to go same. Liverpool win also, but 1-0.
Well, I think we jinx it already. Every time all of us predict Liverpool win, right, they come on lose, or like drop points.
I'll settle for a draw. Don't need to lose.
Enough about top 4. We'll be talking about something a bit less important than the top 4. It'll be the Europa League race. First 59 points. West Ham 59 points. Everton 56 points. And even though we wrote them off, Arsenal have 55 points. It's still technically possible, but you will need a very unlikely sequence of events.
Okay.
I guess, we can start first with West Ham against West Brom. Can start with Manjun. Will Big Sam do it against West Ham?
Now after, we are putting so much faith in Big Sam and his stupid tactics. I don't think it's going to work. I think David Boy's very poor up his pants a bit. I think they better get a win here. I feel the least they could do is at least qualify for Europa League. If not, it might be deemed as a bad season for them. Now it looks like it. Like they won't even qualify for Europa League. Likely it's the Europa Conference League. And who wants to go for that? But yeah, it's to allow all the Cyprus teams to play, all those kind of things. Yeah.
But how do you even get advertising revenue from that?
You don't.
You just play for
I think
fun.
maybe
from
UEFA.
You have 5 teams from the top 5 leagues, so that's something. So I would expect to win. West Brom, no. I like, it's been so many weeks since we thought they would like come up a win, like pull some magical win out of their pants, but no, it hasn't happened. Go for a low win. West Ham 1-0.
Oh, okay. Very pants heavy analysis there. I think West Ham haven't, I don't know, even their game against Brighton also, yes, they sort of had the better chances also, but it didn't look like they were really very convincing there. And West Brom, yes, I mean, they lost last minute to Liverpool, but what can you do about those kind of goals, I'm going to go West Brom win. West Brom 2-1.
I think it's going to be a West Ham win, because I think, I don't know why, but all these kind of like lower teams, right, whenever they play Liverpool, they're very up for the game. It's like, and I think it's also partly because you're like, we can like affect the, like something in the table, right, like some so it may be like a like iconic game or whatever. If they like, it's like to them there's something, a little bit of something to play for. And I think the other mindset is more of like, if you are not in your A game, you're gonna get steamrolled by the big teams. So usually these teams will be more up for the game against the big teams, right? Like shit, we don't want to kinda like whack too hard. But I think against West Ham, they'll maybe be a bit more open, like go for it a little bit more. It's like more of an even playing field. But in this case, West Ham will be more motivated. West Brom, to them, is just another game. Like, you're not really playing a big team. There's like nothing you're really playing for at this point. So I think it's going to be an easy West Ham win 3-1.
The first appearance of a 3-1 this episode. Robin?
I'll go for a 2-1, but West Ham win instead.
Okay. Next up is Spurs versus Aston Villa. Possibly, before we started our show, Adrian was still telling us it might be possible that Spurs will end up in the top 4. Very, very unlikely sequence of results for that to happen. But maybe if that will happen, Ryan Mason get the job full timer.
Probably.
Oh God.
Maybe this is a straightforward game.
I don't know. Like Spurs, they're so inconsistent, right? I can't even be like 30% confident that they'll win this game. Yeah, I think Spurs will screw up here. It's not like they have any chance of like qualifying for Champions League also. So why even, right? I'm going to go for 2-1, Villa win.
Same result, but Spurs instead. So Spurs 2-1.
Yeah, I think I'll go for a Spurs win. I think 2-0.
Spurs 2-1.
I guess maybe the shock of the weekend was that Everton lost 1-0 to Sheffield United. We were all still joking about it last week. We weren't even saying Sheffield United were to score. We were picking like 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Someone even went foolishly for 4-0. Making us look like we really don't know anything. Everton have had a very poor home record, and this is, of course, their last home game of the season. They will have fans. Perhaps that might change things. Everton are at home against Wolves.
I'm more surprised that who scored for Sheffield.
Bedding.
Then the loss is, who the hell is Daniel Jebbison? Like,
Daniel Jebbison.
He's a
new kid, right?
He has a 50% like conversion rate now. You think about it, better than Rhian Brewster. So that's the first thing I think was on my mind.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like they started him over Rhian Brewster. How low can Rhian Brewster get really?
So his career is over, I just want to say. I mean, you can get someone from the academy who can do a better job than him.
Yeah, he affected by your power rankings. Affected his confidence.
Hey, that's true. If you still have your power rankings, right, Daniel Jebbison will be the new entry.
Well,
the youngest scorer in the Premier League, is it?
Yeah.
Youngest ever to score on his first start. In the Premier League.
Debut, yeah.
but why Everton screw? I don't understand though. They almost have like a full team. Like the Korea is back. So like, what the fuck are you even losing to Sheffield? To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I think in the post-game interview, Carlo Ancelotti's eyebrow went so high, I think he's almost going to drop off his face already.
Oh my god.
I think draw 1-1.
Everton 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Everton 1-0 also.
Okay, I'm going to go Everton 2-0. Arsenal will be facing Crystal Palace.
I mean, after I watched that Crystal Palace Villa game, right? Like, if the same Palace comes out, I think Arsenal might lose this game.
Yeah.
But then you never know with Crystal Palace.
Yeah, Christian Benteke now in form. 3 goals in 3 games. Now he has 9 goals this season.
Not bad. I can hit double digit for any of the other lower level clubs. It's not bad.
Yeah, maybe I go for a draw for this one. Like, I don't think Crystal Palace will perform as well as they did against Villa. I go for 1-1 draw.
Won't it be funny if Arsenal go into the European Conference League?
What would be the funniest joke ever? That's what I say.
What position is that?
7th.
Actually,
I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it my mission to make Arsenal 7th in the table so they qualify for the European Conference League. So I'm going to go Arsenal 1-0 win against Palace.
Yeah, that would be more funny than them not having European football. Right?
Yeah, but new competition.
But you cannot break the streak anymore.
Oh, that's true.
Ayo, so technically they open up a new competition just for Arsenal.
They tried with the Super League.
But they also have to go to the Plan B.
Oh my god, the name sounds like shit. Conference League.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's 0-0. Boring game.
I'm going to go for a Crystal Palace upset. 1-0 Crystal Palace. Let's go.
So Arsenal not even to get Conference League.
I think by the looks of it, right, like if Arsenal really get Conference League, if they finish 7, then their good old rivals Villarreal will be there also.
Possible. Yeah.
Possible.
Well, then another good evening derby.
Then probably Roma will be there also, so Mourinho can join him.
Oh,
I think I'll still have to watch it. Oh my.
But that's true. Roma look like they'll finish 7th.
7 or so, yeah. Beautiful. Everything's all planned well.
The last 4 games, nothing much to write on. I think we can breeze past these 4 games unless anybody has anything to say. Man City, of course, newly minted Premier League champions. They beat Newcastle 4-3 last weekend. How would Man City approach this game? Would they play full squad? Would they rest players?
I think rest players for the remaining of the games really. You don't want to risk anyone getting injured. Play the B team, I think 2-1 to Man City.
I mean, they've already started Scott Carson, his first game. It's like, what, a 40-year-old?
Still so much money, but can't fix his teeth. But what the fuck? But okay.
35, I think. Is it?
35, okay.
I think Man City might play a stronger team in the final game week. So there's just enough time to warm up and then be really sharp for the Champions League final. So this one will be a definitely weaker team, but I still think it'll be quite a comfortable win against Brighton. I will go for a 2-0 City win.
Same, I will go 2-0 Man City also.
I'm going for 1-0 Man City.
Manchester United will wrap up maybe there will be a protest here also. This is an Old Trafford game. Manchester United will be against Fulham. I'm going to go for a big score here. I think Man U will trash us.
Wow, so sad.
Our 18-year-old Fabio Carvalho did score against Southampton. He's the 3rd youngest Premier League scorer this season. Of course, behind Daniel Jebbison, we've already mentioned, and Fabio Silva. But yeah, I think Scott Parker is leaving quite a lot of our loan players out just to get the players that will be with us in the Championship to get a few minutes in the Premier League. I'm going to go, how high would this be? Man U 4-0.
Oh my God, Mark, it's so sad to see you like this. I think maybe like 5, 6, 7 weeks ago, you're like so hopeful.
I mean, it's over already, but there is no more hope already.
I think 3-1.
Oh.
You always need
England
to go
really adopting this new 3-1 tactic.
Yeah, I think Man U always need to go down first, right? Then they will come back. Yeah, that's why Liverpool won, because we let them score first.
It's true. Yeah. Damn it. That was the mistake. We went ahead our corresponding fixture also.
This one, if you watch the game and Fulham score first, just shut the computer off straight away. Maybe Man U will play Ahmad and Ilanga again, my 2 favorite.
Not possible, yeah.
Why are they your favorite?
I just love people's names. 2-0 Man U.
Okay, honestly, it doesn't make a difference, but okay. Robin?
I think Man U might play the stronger team here, given the timeline to Europa finals, about a week, right? Rather than Sunday, where you only have like 3 days rest plus traveling.
It's midweek, Europa League final.
I think so. Like, it's a weird timing one. A few days before Mason Greenwood's on form. I think it'll be 2-0 though.
Fulham, of course, last time I lost against Southampton. Of course, they also had a youngster score his first goal for his club, Nathan Tella. So I guess you have to get used to all these new names. Suddenly, everybody who has nothing to play for.
The old generation is gone, guys. This is the new generation coming. You're getting old already.
2-0 lead.
Rafinha's back at a good time. I will go for a 3-1 Leeds.
Leeds 2-1 against Southampton.
No, I haven't gone for a Southampton win in years. So maybe I will.
Years.
We go for 1 year only.
Then I go for 2-0 Southampton win.
Manager of the month, Steve Bruce. And this is official, by the way. I didn't even know he got manager of the month.
Yeah.
I remember they were saying like, oh, this like manager of the month brought us from 17th place to 17th place. Still manager of the month. Don't know how he does it.
Last but not least, could Sheffield United do the double over Newcastle?
I think this one really is the last and the least game.
No one cares.
I don't even care. I mean, for me, if Callum Wilson, he won't be there, so there's no point watching this game. So,
but there's Daniel Jebbison.
Oh, yes, Daniel Jebbison. Yeah, I mean,
Willock.
That's true.
Oh yeah, about Joe Willock. Wow, now he's like what, five goals in 5 games, right?
Who the fuck is Rhian Brewster? You can get Joe Willock for free. But
again, what the hell?
He's the youngest player to score 5 games in a row since Jose Antonio Reyes, if you remember who he is at Arsenal.
Holy moly!
If only it wasn't English, then his price wouldn't be so fucking inflated.
Joe Willock is on loan, is it?
He's on loan.
Loan, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think he'll want to join Newcastle. Yeah. If he goes back to Arsenal, he can play Europa League next season. Sorry, Europa Conference League next season. No, I wouldn't be surprised if Rhian Brewster breaks his duck here. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-0 Newcastle.
It should be Newcastle win. 1-0.
You know, won't it be the most Steve Bruce thing ever? Manager of the month, and then
Just
he
end up
loses
losing
to
to
Sheffield
Sheffield.
United.
Then he was sitting and said, oh, they're on good form, they beat Everton. Wow, fuck off.
You know what? I'm going to go for Sheffield United win 2-1.
Oh, the double over Newcastle this season.
I'll go for a Newcastle win instead. 2-1.
Charities, yeah.
I don't know if you saw the scores yesterday from La Liga, but Atletico went, they trailed to Osasuna, I think, for quite a few minutes. Real Madrid were top. And then they had a last minute comeback.
I almost heart attacks. But well. I didn't check the score twice. I checked at the 80th minute and I checked at the 90th minute. What the fuck? Fucking heart attack.
Big difference. That
fucking heart attack, I tell you. What the shit. But okay. Good job.
From Luis Suarez of all people.
Barcelona
Barcelona is like, wow.
Well, Barcelona, I mean, they didn't, at no point in the, I think they went behind to Celta Vigo very early on. So at no point were they like in the conversation already.
Oh.
Yeah. And they sold Suarez to Atletico. And that's the main reason for why Atletico is above them now. Because they're like doing pretty well over there. And then now they want to buy like Sergio Aguero, who's the same age when they unloaded Luis Suarez, who they say is too old. They now want to get Sergio Aguero because he's Messi's best friend. I don't know.
So cute, yeah. Hold hands. Then they can be the two front men hold hands also lah. So cute.
But I guess Atletico's title to lose lah. I think they are facing, what are they facing last game?
Real Valladolid.
Valladolid.
Yeah. Real Madrid facing Villarreal. I say, oh my god.
Oh wow.
Oh my god. The team you don't want to face
everything leads back to Unai Emery.
He was the key to everyone's qualification. I mean, is Manu in for a striker also?
It's just whether they will sign another dud lor. Maybe join the Fred and McTominay or this kind of group.
McFred.
You combine the two, it's the ultimate box-to-box midfield player. McFred.
That's what people calling them in the comments. McFred. Yeah.
But when does the Euro start? June, is it?
June is the second week of June.
Oh, still very, very fast. 1 more month. Right?
Yeah. Before you came on, we were saying like we only got 1 week break.
We only got 1 week break.
If we want to do Euros now, we only got 1 week break. We're putting in as much hours as the players.
Wow.
Speaking of co-ops, right? Speaking of international co-ops.
Okay. I don't know where this is going, but
I think you know where it's going.
What, the Laporte
Singapore
one?
has called up 4 players from Hougang United. Just want to say.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck who they are, but then, yeah.
Oh, for what? What's happening now?
We have international games, man.
Go.
Wow.
Let me find out what game is it. I got it right here.
All our listeners and viewers are on the edge of their seat.
Cannot wait. Which game is this?
It's the state of our national football. We don't care.
Oh, they got upcoming World Cup qualifier.
Wow.
No, as in never say against, just as a whole. It's for the World Cup qualifiers and for the Asian Cup qualifiers.
Hey, Alexander Durish still there or not?
It might sound like a funny question, right? But it's actually possible.
50-year-old.
Give a break. He's at 50 already.
Of course, viewers and listeners, we will be doing another episode to round up the Premier League season. Of course, there will be one coming up for Matchweek 38 as well. Hopefully, you enjoyed our preview for Matchweek 37. Even though we know nothing, hopefully today you've learned something. We'll see you again in a few days' time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.